Knock knock, it's Knuckles! And welcome to the final part of the Sonic the Hedgehog Let's Play. We're at my favorite level in the whole game, Starlight Zone. And why is it my favorite level in the whole game? Well, for one thing, check out this cool secret right here. So you go forward a bit, and you turn back, and suddenly that staircase is gone and you can get that extra life. There's a ton of cool secrets and stuff like that throughout the level. But the main reason it's my favorite is because it is a very fast, very fun zone with lots of interesting terrain and slopes to go across, much like Green Hill Zone. But unlike Green Hill Zone, this level also has this, I just think it looks really pretty. I mean, look at those stars in the background. I think it's just a very nice, calming level with a wonderful soundtrack as well. And we've just passed Act 1. But I'm not going to do the joke from last episode because it was dumb. But yes, a very fast-paced level. Kind of a reward for beating the very slow and monotonous Labyrinth Zone. And you gotta watch out for those guys because they'll drop their, they'll blow up on you. And these guys here, these green guys, they're like Orbinauts, except they never throw their spike balls. So you're gonna wanna either roll under them or jump over them. The only way you can destroy them is live like invincibility frames. If you get hit by them, you can jump into them afterwards because you're invincible for a few frames. There's also these teeter-totters that will launch you around. So, since we're getting pretty close to the end of this Let's Play, the end of this game, I wanted to touch upon, like, why Sonic the Hedgehog is my favorite video game franchise of all time. I think one of the biggest reasons is, well, the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay is the most important part of any game. And while there are tons of other things I love about Sonic games, like the music, and occasionally there's a good story as well, like in Sonic Unleashed and Adventure 2 and stuff, I think the main thing it comes down to is the gameplay. It's very fun, very freeing. I just don't like going slow in games. I also don't like, I like the whole ring system. It's some people don't like it because it's like if you don't have any rings then you can just immediately die in one hit. But in Mario you always die in one hit unless you have a power-up, which you can lose. So really you only have like 2 or 3 hits in Mario, and you know, that can be kind of tough for me. So if you like those games, and I love Mario games, but for me personally, my favorite is Sonic. And now we come to a boss fight which is much easier than the one we faced in Labyrinth Zone in the last part. Eggman very slowly flies around, drops a spike ball which very slowly falls to the ground and very slowly explodes. And you can launch it back at him using these teeter-totters. So why, Eggman? Why would you choose to have this fight above some teeter-totters, where Sonic can easily launch these back at you? Why would you not just have it over solid ground where he can't jump up and attack you? But alas, we are done with Starlight Zone. IQ of 300 my ass, Eggman. And now we are moving on to the final level of the game, Scrap Brain Zone. Let me tell you though, Scrap Brain Zone, it's a pain in the ass. But first of all, what is up with the name? Scrap Brain? I don't see any scrap, and definitely not brains, anywhere in this level. Maybe scrap meaning metal, and brain meaning like the computer chips and stuff? I don't know what they were thinking. By the way, that's a really cool trick there. You duck down on those things you saw earlier, and you'll go into the walls. And basically, by holding left, you'll go right really, really fast. And some people are a lot better at navigating around during that part than I am. And they can skip a much larger chunk of the level. But be careful though, because you can end up getting stuck behind, there's like a shield monitor on the other side of the wall. You can get stuck behind that, and it'll basically soft lock the game. I'm lucky I fell on that platform there, because I think it's a bottomless pit beneath this, and I would have pretty much died if I had fallen down there. Scrap Brain is a pretty tough level, as I was saying earlier. There's these guys who will throw their little bombs at you. These pig guys, who are quite weird. They don't look much like the other badniks in the game. And there's just a lot of fire and saw wheels, especially here in Act 2. I think Act 2 might be the toughest act, unless it's your first time playing, and I'll get to why in a second. I'll get to, when we get to Act 3, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's tons of stuff to watch out for. These little zappy lightning things. These platforms that you gotta time properly, or else you'll fall as they rotate. Fire everywhere. And this part, I had to restart the level like so many times because I was trying to get through this one part here without getting hit. Because you want to go fast so that you don't get hit by the saw wheel, but not too fast that you run into the fire at the end. So that was quite obnoxious. And then there's this part where you gotta go through right as it's up, but not while the fire's going. If you fall down, well, then you get hit by the lightning thing. There's just stuff trying to hit you everywhere in this level. And that was weird. I don't know what happened there. Hit detection is really weird on those caterpillars, which are like the purple caterpillar-like badniks. And I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. I guess you could roll under, but you don't really see it coming. And yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was just rushing through that part, like, get me out of here. There's a nice little invincibility hidden up in the extra path in the wall there. And you can use it to just spam through these pig badniks. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, my favorite thing about Sonic is probably just the fast and fun gameplay. Oh, actually, let me talk about this cutscene real quick first. Eggman, what are you doing behind this wall? What the? Oh no. No, 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 no! Ah! Oh. Wait a minute. Why does this place look familiar? Why? Why is there water? Oh no. So in this act, Eggman has basically recreated Labyrinth Zone. But it's even harder now because it's the final level. But it's actually really easy if you know the right pathway to take. If you take the pathway that I'm taking and fall down right here, you can beat the zone in pretty much like a little over 30 seconds. Especially if you do it quickly. And here we are right at the final boss now. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this playthrough. This final boss, it's actually not too bad. It's a little scary not having rings, but as long as you just stay out of the way of the of those things that try to crush you, those big pillars, and you stay in the middle of these blasts, like the bigger space, you'll be fine. I have died a couple times to this boss fight, but it's really not too bad, especially compared to the later final bosses in the series. I also really like the music in this final boss. I once heard a YouTuber say it sounds like the game is crying. I can't remember who said that, but that's basically what it sounds like. It's really cinematic. Could almost go in like a movie score or something if it weren't for the, you know, 16-bit instruments. And sometimes you're just not going to be able to hit Eggman because you're just on the wrong side. You don't really know which one he's going to come out of, so you just gotta... I guess one strategy is you could kind of stay in the middle. And yeah, I wasn't having great luck here. But if you see two of them coming up on either side, try to stay in the middle of them. That way, it doesn't matter which side he comes up on. But sometimes my brain doesn't work like that. My brain is like, oh, there's a bigger space over here. I should go over here. And kaboom! Dr. Eggman, your very poorly thought out plans have been concluded. And everyone is safe. All the animals are freed. And we are here at the end of the game. There's an alternate ending if you get all the Chaos Emeralds though. But I decided not to do that in this playthrough. Just because I didn't really feel like collecting them all. The special stages in this game aren't exactly my favorite. But that concludes one of my favorite video games of all time. And the start of my favorite video game franchise of all time. So like I was saying, basically another one of my favorite things about Sonic is that, you know, while there are humans and there are cities and stuff, it pretty much focuses on a group of animals who just love adventure and love spending all their time fighting Eggman. They don't have jobs, they don't have... It's all very freeing and fun, and so that's why I like the Sonic series a lot. And I'll always keep coming back to it. I also like in the classic games, this is something they unfortunately didn't really bring back in the 3D games, but in the classic games, at the end of the game they always have this big zone medley in the credits where they sort of put together all the different musics of the zones that you've played through so far. And I always thought that was a neat little thing that they did bring it back in Sonic Generations, but aside from that they never really tried doing that. And I think that kind of sucks, because every Sonic game has had great music. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this Let's Play of Sonic 1. I'm headed back to my island to protect the Master Emerald, but I will be back here next weekend with the second episode of Sonic Fan Game Reviews. We're going to be taking a look at a pretty fun Sonic fan game called Sonic Explorers. It's a 3D Sonic fan game focused on, you guessed it, exploration. And as far as the Let's Plays go, the next one we'll be doing is one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. The very first Sonic game I ever played, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I am very excited for that one. And I hope you're looking forward to it as well. In the meantime, feel free to check out my other channel, Epic Zacko. Me and my friends Troy and Chris just put out the first episode of our really funny superhero skit series, Chris's Epic Adventures. I would greatly appreciate you taking the time to check it out if you're interested. The links will be on screen and in the description. But that's all I've got for you guys for now, so have a great weekend.